First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. This is just going to be a response to the video that was done by Elder Apostle Tahar. Okay, we will not deal with a persona non grata, which I watched it this morning, and he was dealing with some of the comments that was left by Paul Kersey 4 or whatever the number is at the end of the name now. And there was something that he mentioned. It was a comment that was left. Let me see if I can find it. Um, Let me see.
Shalom, real quick. Apostle Kabar cut him off. Yeah, he's not one of the elect. You're going to take the MOTB. That's what I told him, because he knows it and he refuses to teach it. And he got mad because in this video, I told him to grow a backbone and confront your leadership, which are not real leaders because they're not teaching you the whole truth. Also, it says here, and 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 could the MOTB already have come and pass a while ago, and as of now, we are just waiting for the Lord to make his appearance.
And let me see if I can make the quality better. Let's see. You can see the writings better. I'll zoom in on this one. Slack here 1 second. All right, there we go. And I'll say this too. One thing that I've noticed about the way he leaves his comments is sometimes he'll often leave it with a question mark at the end, so that if you go and you say, "Oh, see, you said this," then he'll come back and say, "Oh no, it was a question. I actually left there, yada yada yada." But it's like one of those things when if somebody really they make a statement, but they put it in almost like a question form, implying something that they mean to say, right? They'll say, so, oh, well, could it be that this person was actually trying to do this, which is really what they're implying. But instead of saying, oh, well, this person actually did this, they'll try to word it in that way anyway. That's not the point. The point is, I'm gonna read the comment, all right, and then I'm gonna get a few precepts because that's what I wanted to deal with. The comment in here, and this is why we have done videos in the past, all right, and emphasize the order of prophecy, okay, because the MOTB is a prophecy in itself, all right, in terms of the hour of temptation, okay, and Yahushua's return is also a prophecy. However, we have enough information to know or determine the order of these prophecies, okay. So now it says in the comment, he said, and could the MOTB already have come and passed a while ago? And as of now, we are just waiting for the Lord to make his appearance. I say what I say because I don't see the MOTB/CHIP emerging anytime soon. Right. But then again, that's from your mind, right? I don't see it emerging anytime soon. But prophecy is not based on what you see. Prophecy is based on the time that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai set it up to be. Okay? And if you're measuring the times diligently, paying attention to how things are moving, then you would understand that there's a gradual process. All right. But then he says, where is it? It's literally a choice. You can get the MOTB now and have your home or vehicle configured to accept the MOTB. We have been waiting for decades now and no MOTB in sight at all, at least on the level of it being mandated. All right. So there's a lot of things that were said in here, which if you read the scriptures, all right, you wouldn't have these kinds of questions or make these kinds of statements if you actually follow what the scriptures say. So, Lord willing, I'm going to get a few precepts, all right, and put the emphasis on the order of prophecy, okay? Because yes, the MOTB comes before Yahweh Shai's return, but we have enough context to know what is going to be, the setting in which these things are taking place. If the MOTB is already coming past a while ago, then that means what? That the hour of temptation would have had to have come and passed a while ago. The hour of temptation is not you being tempted as to whether you want to configure your car to your MOTB or your home to your MOTB. That's not what the prophecy says in Revelation 13 and 16 and 17, right? It says that nobody will be able to buy and sell except those that have the MOTB. Now, we don't have the MOTB, but we can buy and sell perfectly fine. Okay? So the actual CHIP is out. However, just because it hasn't been pushed on a worldwide scale of being mandated yet, doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Okay, and as it says here, and I'm gonna read the comment again. And could the MOTB already have come and passed a while ago? Well, the MOTB itself has already come out. All right, the CHIP is already out. However, the hour of temptation, in which it's made mandatory to try the whole world, right? That's what the precept said in Revelation 3 and 10, that it would try the whole world. So this is no, it hasn't already come out a while ago. In the terms of the hour of temptation hasn't happened yet. It says, and as for now, we are just waiting for the Lord to make his appearance. So first off, let's go real quick to the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. All right. And this is what it says in Matthew 24. When you read Matthew, the 24th chapter, Yahushua speaks about the time period of 70 AD, around that time, and he also speaks about future prophecies. So now in the 29th verse, as you can see, the header says the glorious return. It says immediately, right, after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So it's telling us that Yahushua is going to return immediately after the tribulation, right? Right at the end of Jacob's trouble. So we're not just going to be here because Jacob's trouble hasn't popped off yet. Okay? So it's not like we're not just going to be here just waiting and then the Lord just pops up one day. There's going to be a series of events taking place. There are other prophecies in the scriptures that haven't been fulfilled yet. The prophecies in Second Ezra's, the 15th chapter, the 16th chapter, the 13th chapter. Second Ezra 13 tells you that there's going to be war taking place when Yahushua returns. All right. Second Ezra 13, and let's see. Um, all right, 1 second. Let me just do a word search. Well, let's search Apocrypha, and let's find Second Ezra 13:31. All right, so it's in the 31st verse. All right, so this is Second Ezra 13 and 30, 29. It says, behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, which are who? The elect. It says, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. Right? They're surprised. It says, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. It says here, it says, and the time shall come when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I shewed thee before. Then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. You see that? And so after the signs that the angel showed Ezra, that's when Yahushua is going to make his appearance. But then it goes on to say what? And when all people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. So, what's going to be happening? There's going to be war. You're going to have these different nations at war with each other. Okay? And upon Yahushua's return, they're going to leave from fighting with each other and join their forces to try and fight against the Lord. So that means prior to the Lord's return, you're going to have war, in particular World War III. All right? And the order of prophecy is the MOTB is going to come out before World War III. And the reason for that is because the judgment for taking the MOTB, as we're about to read in Revelation 14 and verse 9, right? It says here, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, and that's going to be by way of the nuclear missiles. All right, and also the fire coming from the chariots. It says, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So the punishment for taking the MOTB or worshiping the image of the beast is going to be you getting tormented with this fire and brimstone, where in the presence of the angels and the Lamb. So that means Yahushua is going to be here. Okay? So you're going to have the MOTB. You're going to have the hour of temptation, which is going to try the whole world. We haven't all been tried yet. So no, the MOTB hasn't come to pass. It hasn't come and passed a long time ago. All right. And now we're just waiting for the Lord to make his appearance. No, that's not the case. Because if the MOTB had already passed, the majority of people would be walking around with it. Okay? And we would be witnessing that. And then the world would have popped off. So it's continuing, it says, I say what I say because I don't see the MOTB/CHIP emerging anytime soon. Where is it? Well, what do the scriptures say? Okay, because it's not on our time, it's on the Most High's time. Let's go real quick to, matter of fact, I get it from here. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Right? So what's a part of the vision? Well, what did the Apostle John see in Revelation 13 and 16 to 18? That was a vision of the MOTB. Right? And it says it's yet for an appointed time. But at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry. Right? There goes that we've been waiting for decades. Though it tarry, wait for it. So what you got to do? You got to wait some more. It's not up to you or me or any of us. It's up to the Most High to when the time is appointed. And it's not like the Most High is, you know what? Let me 5 more years, then I'm gonna add another 10 more years. No, He already set a time that we just don't know it. We don't know the exact time, but we know we're close. Right? It says, wait for it because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So, well, we've been waiting, but guess what? We got to wait some more until it comes out. It says, anytime soon, where is it? It's literally a choice. You can get the MOTB now and have your home or vehicle configured to accept the MOTB. Well, what about the part where you can't buy or sell without it? It says, we have been waiting for decades now and no MOTB in sight at all, at least on the level of it being mandated. Well, let's now go to the book of Matthew 24 and 45, because if you've been waiting for that, well, you got to wait some more. Okay? This is Matthew 24 and 45. It says, who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Right? To continue to do the work of the Lord, which involves having patience and waiting and teaching and keeping the faith and not losing patience. Because what did the Lord say in Revelation 3 and 10? Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee. These prophecies are going to come to pass. But it takes faith to wait. It takes faith to believe. So it says, and now we're in the time of a lot of unbelievers. I believe it's in the book of Peter. It talks about um, in the last days, shall come scoffers walking after their own lusts. And that's also a thing too. Which look, the only ones that have been set up to teach this word in the fullness of it, in the correctness of it, are the prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, you Israelites are Israelites, whether they choose to believe it or not. They're Israelites, but knowing you're an Israelite does not mean that you're of the elect. It doesn't make you any extra special. Guess what? 2,000 years ago, over 2,000 years ago, we knew we were Israelites, and yet you still had a separation. You still had wicked Israelites and righteous Israelites. Okay, and there are a lot of individuals in this world, whether you're a Kyrie or Kanye or any whoever you are that mention something related to Hebrews or whatever truth awakening. There's so many different stumbling blocks out here. But just because somebody mentions Israel or mentions anything about Hebrews, and it doesn't mean that they're gonna teach or they're gonna be in belief of the fullness of the gospel. And remember that our job is here, you know, for the elect. Because put it like this: if a random individual came out, across you while you were teaching, and they came and they said, yeah, I believe, we the people, and we go back to greatness. Then you may test them, right? You may ask them a few more questions. But if they start talking about some, yeah, and the this and the that, and then they start mixing in different things, and they're not dealing directly fully with the scriptures. They're dealing with a mix of different parts, and then the Hebrews, and then they jump to the ancestors. Then it's a whole mix of different information. Okay, not all information is good information. Just because it sounds esoteric, it doesn't mean that it's the right kind. But if they start coming with a mixture, guess what? You're gonna try to separate that and give them the correctness of the truth, because there's only one truth. But if they don't get it, you just keep it pushing, right? Well, it's the same thing whether the individual's a celebrity or they're somebody that's known or they're not. If you're not teaching the truth, then you're not if you're not in belief of the fullness of the doctrine, then you're not. And we're not looking for you. We're looking for the elect. And the elect are going to believe the 100% truth. Okay? That's just what it is. And that's our job. So we don't expect anybody, every single person that wakes up or, comes to some realization of what the lie is, right? Just you may know that these devils are lying. Doesn't mean that you know the truth, though. Right? So if somebody comes to some realization, well, guess what? We're still here looking for the elect. And you could be or you could not be. All right. But the truth remains the truth, and our job remains what it is. See, so it says here. So it's we're not it's not in support of who a particular individual is. You may say, okay, well, hey, look, Kyrie came out and he's standing up for what he believes in, and he's standing up for what he believes in, and we support him, and this is just what it is, right? And you back him up and you jump in his corner. What happens if he turns around and he says, well, I also believe that Christ most high, and I also believe that Christ came for everybody, and I think everybody is loved the same, and basically he says things that are contrary to the scriptures or whatnot. Then what? Then you would have jumped into his corner, right? Pushed and support him all the way, and then now he turns around, and now you just hear, and it's like, oh, okay. You see, so the gospel is the gospel, and we're messengers, and we're out here to give the message. Okay. Although What we do look at and look into is the fact that, guess what, the gospel is still going out, because the fact that people are even thinking to this level. Jake wasn't thinking like this in the past, but the fact that they're even thinking on this level is what is giving more exposure to the truth. Okay, and the goal is not to get everybody; it's only to get those that it's for. So that's okay. And the Lord used, or is using, this whole situation, all right, even with what's this guy's name, Ron Dalton or Junior, or whatever that the dude's name is, to with that movie and all that stuff, which there's certain information in there that could be useful, but at the end of the day, the dude himself is an unbeliever. Okay, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I just saw, on my way to do this video, I saw a clip um of the video that the elder brother Manatazakba did, and you got this guy Ron Dalton basically trying to disprove the chariot to the Lord. So he's not spiritual. Okay, he may have made a movie or a book, Hebrews to Negroes and this, that, and the third, but it doesn't mean that he's you know his stuff may have some correlation, but guess what? At the end of the day, it's about the full truth. Okay? Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is not coming to give you slack because I'm gonna cut you some slack because you mentioned a little bit here and there. No, because you had the prophets giving you the 100% truth. So what's your excuse for not having all of it? Now you coming against the Israelites. You saying the this is crazy if you think about it. We're saying that Gog and Magog and Meshach and Tubal and all that, they're gonna be fighting against UFOs, and you're not spiritual. So guess what? You ain't gonna make it if you're not spiritual. All right, and you sounding like somebody that's not of the elect, and guess what's gonna happen to people that are not of the elect? They're gonna be destroyed. Ultimately, the Most High gets all the credit, because whatever any individual does, the Most High is the one in control. Okay, so the credit don't go to you; it goes to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. He just used you to push out this thing, right, out into the forefront even more, make it more mainstream. But that's for the Most High's ultimate purpose. You see? So, hey, at the end of the day, guess what? Our job still remains the same, which is to continue to push this word, have the patience, all right? Continue to push this word and teach the truth, and wake up the elect, or teach the word and let the Lord wake up the elect. All right, but it goes on, it says here, verily I say unto you that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, which they don't have to say it directly, but you can imply it, and that's sort of what's being implied here, right? Oh, we've been waiting for decades. That's the spirit of, oh yeah, I mean, at this point, right? If you start raising questions, well, what if it already happened, and this, and because we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, guess what? It says, if that evil servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin, and delayeth his coming doesn't mean, oh, I never said that the Lord himself was delaying his coming. I just said that we've been waiting for. Well, guess what? The introduction, or the hour of temptation, is a part of the event of the Lord's return. Okay? So it says, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken. Now, when you look up the word smite, there's you have a few definitions that are physical, but you have a metaphor which says, i.e., to wound, or to what? Disquiet one's conscience. Okay? To disquiet one's conscience, it says figuratively here, to offend the conscience. And how do you do that? When you start to see, you may stop. You may have an individual that stops believing, but that's not good enough for them. So they look at those that are still laboring and still believing and still doing the work. And I'm speaking generally, all right? And what they do is they smite them, in the sense that they try to disquiet their conscience by throwing their disbelief and their incredulity at this individual, to try and sway them, because your conscience is telling you, yeah, this is the truth, this is the work of the Lord, keep on doing what you're doing. But in this individual that fell out, Now they want to disquiet your conscience by oh, scoffing, saying, "No, you wrong. That's not what it is. Oh, you still doing that? You're wasting your time." What they're trying to do is they're trying to disquiet your conscience. They're trying to break that sound, that quietness that you have in mind that keeps you going. Okay, as they say, misery loves company. But it says what? The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of him, or in an hour that he is not aware of. Because what? He will stop looking. He will stop waiting. He will stop measuring the times because he will just say, oh, well, I waited the last 10 years. I waited the last 20 years. I waited the last however long. Ain't nothing happened. So whatever. I'm going to just stop watching. It says, and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So you got to be real careful when it comes to prophecy. You gotta have the patience and you gotta wait. All right. And enough with this unbelieving talk, man. This is the Lord's movie. This is the Lord's show. We are servants of the Lord. Okay, and we do as the Lord has commanded us to do. So as Apostle Tahar said, we will not deal with a persona non grata. Okay? The truth is the truth, man. It's not about how we feel about it. You just get in line and do what the Lord tells you to do. That's it. The Most High is not here to bargain with us and try and find out, do a petition for what everybody feels and what everybody likes and what don't you like about what the Most High is doing? What do you like about the Most High is doing? Do you strongly disagree? Do you agree? Are you neutral? Do you strongly agree? The Most High don't give a damn. Okay? You either do what he asks or you don't. And if you don't, you get destroyed. And if you do, then if you're of the elect, you get delivered. That's it. That's it. And what Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is about to do is he's about to bring heavy judgment, okay, upon the earth. And at that point, everybody's gonna want to get straight. But once you've been marked, right? If you're doing wickedness and you've been marked for destruction, it doesn't matter you if you try to get straight at that point, the mark is still upon you. Okay? And the Most High says, all right, now it's time to take your ass out. And fear is what's gonna bring correctness. Fear is what's gonna bring the truth to a new level. When judgment goes out and people start to fear, then you're not gonna be turning on the camera and talking all this disbelief, unbelief talk back and forth. All of these things, man. When the Lord brings judgment, it's gonna be quiet. You know, like Jake says, it's gonna be quiet for all of that. It's quiet for that. That's what's gonna be. All right, that's what it's gonna be. But anyway, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.